russosbrand.com, where the pros are the pros. Well, one other thing interesting, Ben, you sent me something from Front Office Sports, and this was written by Joe Camporeale from USA Today Sports. So this is legit USA Today. One thing he had, also central to the suit, former WWE exec Stephanie McMahon, who is described as knowing of other instances of her father engaging in inappropriate sexual conduct.
How many NDAs are there? That were told, wasn't there like 19, 16, 19? And how many people have come out to say anything and counter sue and say what's going on? So there's stories I've heard off air that are equally disturbing. And if it's true, then that's kind of, does she inherit a lot of these same proclivities? And that this is just normal and commonplace for your daughter to cover up your affairs because you're a billionaire? Like, these are not normal people that we're dealing with in the way they operate in a what they look like are supposed to be a family, right? The husband hasn't been with the wife for 20 years. The daughter is pushed to an executive level. The son always probably trying to take the moral high ground, gets pushed out of the picture so we can continue our bad behavior. And the daughter and the daughter that is in on it, her husband gets the spot so we can, like, boy, dude, it's beyond Shakespearean in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I bring it up each and every time, and it can't be brought up enough. The updated information and story that when Stephanie, sort of, I guess, for lack of a better word, confronted Ashlyn Massaro and did not believe her story, that this be a star and, believe all women or whatever else they were trying to promote with their PR campaign. She didn't believe that woman, who they left over there, by the way.
What was that even her being believe it? Is that, let me just put the locker room story over. Is that Vince and them knowing it? And then they're seriously sweating it, right? In their little core group. And we got to send somebody to be the liaison to deflate this a little bit. And woman on woman, Steph, you go in there and you just try and be empathetic. I can feel and see the fucking closed door meeting, right? Can't you? And then, she doesn't want to, but she's got to, or else we're all going down for this. And fucking, that's what it's supposed to be. And she's like, I just don't think it's what you're making it out to be. Is that really what happened? Like, and now you're terrified of McMahon's and Stephanie's addressing you directly. I feel like that's the weirdest part of this, that she may be a much bigger, what do you say? Enabler. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Enabler and handler, like on a fucking Maxine Jizzy, young Jizzy level, right? Like, is that what's going on here? Because that's about the only other person I could liken it to who's dealing with someone with huge sexual perversion, and you're feeding that fire.
Well, on the other side of that, Ben, I do got to say this. It appears like there was a great amount of relief lifted from Stephanie's shoulders when Vince exited the company. Because remember, that's when Stephanie came back, and that's when she was named co-CEO. And then, bro, remember, she actually did vote against her old man about coming back to the company. And when he did the end around and came back, she left. And, bro, you also have to think about the human side of this. And I know sometimes it's hard to look at these guys as human beings. It really is. But, I mean, my God, bro, with what Stephanie knew and didn't know, bro, Linda's her mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? So all these things Vince is doing, from a humanistic approach, like, you're doing that to my mother. Like, I could never, ever imagine that. Like, my own kids. If I was Vince and I was doing all this shit and my daughter knew about it, I don't know, bro. I just
not only knew about, your daughter's helping you to keep it going, dude. And That's where the work of this comes in, where you're like, she stepped down and da-da-da-da. That's not just because, I've unburdened myself, right? They knew something was coming, and she might be going through her own stuff on the side. So that, and she may have the same proclivities, and she's going to be, know that when they got the FBI stuff, like, oh shit, they got me too, so I'm going to step back. Then Vince steps down. They put her right back in for 6 weeks, and she votes no. So she can look like, I'm on the good side. Vince, you vote against me. You're not going to get out. Just vote against me so we can make it look a certain way. Boom, that goes through. He comes back, does the coup d'etat, and she disappears again just like that. That's not just like, the relief is off me. That's what they want it to look like. But this is all calculated. But if you swim with the fucking great white sharks, I know these conversations that I'm kind of spelling out, they happen at the lowest levels, whether it's the Click and fucking Sean and Kevin and Pac in the car, or at this level to cover shit up so they can stay in power. And the moves they make that are public are calculated by them to do that. And then they know that this stuff is coming long before it ever drops to the sheets. So she's not just sitting at home, getting some rest. There's a lot of sleepless nights waiting for that sword of Damocles to drop on them. And this is it's getting closer and closer and closer every single time, bro.
Yeah. Stevie, what's your take on all this?
Well, it comes to a certain point, and I'm not making an analogy to her, to the other person that Ben talked about, but that person that ran with Epstein was also someone's daughter. I mean, her father was along the lines of Vince McMahon as well, Maxwell. Yeah. But there comes a point in life, I mean, and this is the thing. Did she have some kind of come to Jesus moment and that vote was legitimate and that she was making a stand against her dad? Well, that's also convenient after you become a multi-millionaire, almost a billionaire possibly, because the family fortune and everything. And now you're growing a conscience, and now you're doing the look at all the people, the human beings that were left in your wake for maybe not your action against it, which I deem, if it's true, she took action as a representative of the company against Ashley Massaro, who was dead within, a year or so after this. You can't tell me that's not related, that didn't weigh on that poor girl and even her daughter and the people closest to her. Stephanie McMahon, if it's all true, is partially responsible for that, and partially responsible for putting up a wall for people that wanted to come in like you, Vince, to help the company. Her own ego, her and Triple H's ego was very apparent on the opening segments of WWE TV. So she's not an innocent little flower or a babe in the woods, as Ben would say. She's a McMahon.
Hey, dude, I go to the story that you told us off air.
Kisses.
Well, no, those
are butterflies, something else.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can't look at it this way because, bro, like seriously, man, let's look at the other McMahon who is Shane.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Any talent or person on TV, and you can include a Ryback or anybody else, and he's very polarizing and back in the news. Any talent that gets punished, that gets put in a spot for humiliation rituals or whatever you might call it, and is fucked with by the Bruces, the Stephanies, the Hunter, the Johnny Aces, the Michael Hayeses, the Vince McMahons, or anybody in that circle. Well, what did you do to deserve it? What did you do to make them want to fuck with you?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Now we're looking and seeing, no, they just fuck with people and they enjoy it. And the better person you are, the more they're going to fuck with you.
Yeah. Well, one thing you can really look at is, the other McMahon who is Shane. Shane did get away. Shane was not involved in it. He was not coming in and out. Shane got away. Shane, distanced himself from the father and the company. Stephanie didn't do that. And it always seemed, bro, there was some type of heat between Shane and Vince, bro. Like Shane, may have known what the hell was going on and wanted absolutely no part of it. His family, his wife, his kids, etc. But you got to look at the two of them. And Shane literally got out of Dodge and had nothing to do with that company, while Stephanie was, in and out and always involved.
There's a funny thing about that too, just a side story for the alleged emails between you and Shane McMahon trying to, he was acting as an advocate to Vince. The way he worded those emails back and forth with you, it was like a boss that he had no personal relationship with.
Right.
He had to tiptoe around and
tiptoe around his old man. Yeah, dude, that was crazy.
That tells the interaction of these families. We think in terms of a real nuclear family type of setup, where it's more like the Game of Thrones type, the trying to kill the 100%. King of England to get the throne. That these are not normal family situations. So I just wanted to insert that.
That was great. That dude, that's when I say Shakespeare, and that's exactly what I mean, how you just laid it out like that. You can't, the Hamlet scenarios, all that shit, man, is all tied into this on an even way bigger level. Incestuous, fucking scandalous, power hungry, megalomania, narcissism, sexual deviancy. All this shit is in this fucking one realm. And people are like, Cody's got to win. Let Cody win.
Maybe that's why Cody's crying in the ring.
Yeah, he's like,
some intel that we don't have. Maybe
he's like, I'm gonna win. It's gonna suck. This is gonna be the worst week of my life that week, right? Like he knows it's coming down.
Oh, they're waiting. Oh, gee, and smartly so. The press has been quiet, but WrestleMania week, you have to. The lawyers, everybody. The most amount of news, I believe, is yet to come. During the week where the SEO, the ads, the morning shows, they may drop it all on Monday. Then every time you do an appearance, or they might cancel them, they're like, let's ask them about this on Good Morning Philadelphia, or this show, or this rate. There might be no press for that. And they probably would be smart not to have press if this stuff starts dropping again.
Yeah.
What's up, Brand? This is Jeff Lane, inviting you to come hang out with me over on Twitch. I'll be live several nights a week, playing games classic and new. Currently, I'm going through Final Fantasy VII. So I hope to see you there, Jeff Lane 22 on Twitch.
MikeDurbin.com. You can get the WCW-esque Conan in that K-Dog Wolfpack style. Man, this Conan might be Bendy of the Year right now.
I really told you. Yo. Let me speak on this. Mike Durbin Productions exclusive. The Conan, I was the most impressed with Conan, man. It's like undercover Bendy of the Year. It's a really nice figure. The do-rag is freaking awesome in person. I love the exclusive with the WCW packaging. I love this one with the camo. It's really nice.
And I will say a figurine expert who went to TJ on Friday, Matt Cardona, put it over as being a good figurine as far as figurines go.
Yo, hold on, let me speak on this. Exclusive Mike Durbin Productions, K-Dog. Look at that, listen to K-Dog, keeping it 100, logo on the back, MikeDurbin.com. Get it right now. Low key might be Bendy of the Year. Go get it.